Right guys, I hope everyone's doing well. So what is the topic for today's conversation? And I think what I want to talk about is the property market and where we're at right now and how we are going about with investments. And I think for you guys that are new to this, you are in a very interesting sort of market where it does seem like there is activity, but for me I feel like there is a lot of sideways trading. So the market's not up, the market's not down, it is quite stable in that sense, which for some I'll be saying that is one of the better markets to be in because there's a lot less volatile, so there is demand and supply and they're pretty much in equilibrium, which is a good thing for lots of people. But I think with a lot of the external factors that do come with investing in properties, that right now is a lot harder in terms of getting the deals to stack. And I think that is one of the key messages, is that it is difficult in a sense to find the deals that stack and finding the funds to put into these deals. And even if it's a deal that will return money back at the end, conversations need to be had with people that are funding projects like these where they potentially might need to be leaving their money in for a bit longer, obviously getting return for this. But yes, it's the cost of equity right now is what I'm focused on, and how it's important to be always constantly looking out to raise that, but also having a balance of the security and not over leveraging yourself. And I think there is a risk of people that jump ahead and go forward and do great things and grow, but I think it is good to be careful as well about not stretching too far and taking too much risks, because if things do turn sour and do come tumbling down, what is your exit strategy? And sometimes to liquidate fast is not an option unless you do take a big cut on your price, which might leave you out of pocket even at that stage, or your investors out of pocket. So it's not the best scenario to be in. So I think it is important to be aware of all the risks involved in growing portfolios, and it's definitely not one where it's an easy path to be, especially when everything is quite difficult. And by difficult I means how inflation, when it comes down to it, is the inflation of goods and services that are making things more difficult and making the margins so much more tighter. And I do agree that for property investors that probably haven't been through a cycle like this, it does come as a shock. And I think we have been used to a period of low debt where there's high cash flow, so the properties that would have cash flow better would have been more attractive. And I think that's the level that we've as investors gotten used to it. And as data shows, right now is kind of more of a normal market where things are sitting at the 5% mark, 6% mark in terms of interest, and it's one where I think we need to get used to moving forward. So yeah, it's very interesting to see how this market continues until the rest of the year. And for me, I can't believe that I've been doing a review and been counting, and actually it's only a few more months before the year ends, so another 4 months or so, and then you'll be hearing Christmas songs already, and that's another scary part of it. And you sit here and think, where has the time gone? And I think it's in times like these as well, moments of reflection and self-reflection and reviewing your goals periodically, every quarter or so, and just having to sit and think and seeing whether you are heading in the right direction, no matter what speed you might be going at. I think as long as you take a forward facing direction, that's all that matters. And so important as ever to realize that this journey that you're going through is all for yourself, and it doesn't matter what other people are doing, and don't compare yourself to other people. Even though for us who lives on social media nowadays, it is very difficult to not just compare yourselves and seeing other people do things, or showing what they want to show, essentially, because obviously we don't know what goes on behind the scenes and the struggles and the troubles that people have, which is why I want to shine more of a light on the realities of, from my perspective, what I think property investing is and developing is. And it's not easy at all, and I know this doesn't get stressed enough of how difficult it actually is, and what kind of mindset you need to build in order to go through when you do have difficult times. And if you don't have anyone to speak to or to talk to about these things, and you don't have anyone to reach out to, it just adds so much more stress. And if you ever feel like you're alone, by all means reach out to me. I'm always happy to talk to people, and if I can help in any way, I would love to help as well. And I hope other people do the same for me. And yeah, it's one of those things where, reflecting on it, you need to understand that your mental health is so important. So don't struggle alone if you are struggling. And it may seem like someone might be doing really well on the surface, but you really don't know the story behind social media, or what they show you and what they go through. And it's not always all rosy, and of course there are times where it is happier, where seriously everything's cool and everything's good and nothing's going on. But you'd be surprised about how many people do carry a lot of baggage, and when things aren't going well, they do put on a positive persona, even if it's not going all that well, in all honesty. So yeah, it's just one of those things where, for me, it's always about being self-aware and being honest with yourself, actually being authentic with yourself. So if you're not feeling all that good, reach out to people, and to people that to close people, and talk about these issues, because I think it's important to communicate and create that connection. And it may not even be that you talk to them and you want anything solving. It could just be that you want someone there to listen to you, so that you can vent, and vent in a positive way, where once it's done, you can then look to move forward and get better, and continue on, working towards your goals and your dreams, whatever they may be. So yeah, I actually didn't think I was going to go down this route since turn on the camera and start talking, but I think that's the real message I wanted to put out there today, is that no matter what you're doing, just don't worry about too much of it. I think no matter what speed you're going at, don't be in too much of a rush to get to where you think you want to get to, because I can guarantee you that once you hit it, it's not all that, and there'll be other things you want to be chasing after anyway, so the goals will always change. So for me, it's enjoying the process, understanding the process, allowing myself to feel the downs when I do feel the downs, and the highs when I feel the highs, and just become a more fuller and deeper person, really. So but yeah, I just wanted to leave this message to you guys. Go out there and smash the day. If you're smashing the day, if you need someone to talk to, I'm always here, and I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you again soon.